How do I become a successful construction foreman? In this video, I'm going to give you the do's and the don'ts and some things that I've observed through the last, it's been about 30 years being in construction at this point. I know I look super young, like I know what you're saying, I understand, but 30 years. And I love this topic because there's nobody on this earth that loves foremen more than me. I really think that we've just got to get more and more support for foremen in this industry. And if you are a foreman, I hope you feel the love 100%. Now, here's just a real quick thought, but I answer all the comments myself. Sometimes if there's like a video that's been done like years ago, I won't see the comment, but I try my best, okay? I can already anticipate the objections. Somebody would say, Jason, right now you're not a foreman, so what right do you have to speak about the do's and don'ts of being a foreman? Well, let me say this. I have been taught at every level by somebody who has been there, done that, and who cares. I've been there, done that, and I care. So instead of looking at it like, oh, defensive, he's trying to tell me something, look at it like Jason loves me. Or you can. And if you love me back, like the video. Anyway, so we're going to get into that right now, the do's and the don'ts of what makes a successful foreman. If you're into that, stay with us right now. All right, some of these are going to seem pretty basic if you think about it, but they are very important. Lead by example. Now, one of the things that I really want to caution us away from is, or try and get away from, is foremen wearing their bags. I really don't believe in it. I really believe that a foreman who is the senior most and most experienced worker on the crew, who has leadership abilities and has been assigned to have this amazing role, right? I think they should have the experience of having their bags on, but I would prefer that it's planning and removing roadblocks and executing and feeding the crew with tools and materials and equipment. Like, I would absolutely love that. This is crucial for the overall job site morale, is set an example for attitude. Yeah, we trust, we're going to work with the general contractor. Have a good attitude. Set an example for punctuality. Set an example for handwriting and organization. Set an example for anything that you want to see in your crew, right? And let me do supers this time so I don't bother the room here. But I'm always thinking to myself, wait a minute, we need to organize this site, and I'm using a super example right now. I'm like, so we hired the person with holes in the jeans, the person whose mailbox is full on their phone, disorganized desktop, banana peels falling out the truck, coffee stains everywhere. Like this guy? Like, I don't think so. We're going to have to hire a clean, safe, and organized superintendent if we want a clean, safe, and organized project site. Same thing with a foreman. We need to hire a clean, safe, and organized, punctual, good attitude foreman. Then we'll have a clean, safe, organized, punctual, good attitude crew. So set the example. The other thing is communicate clearly. That's number 2. I've had some scuffles in foreman boot camps and field engineer boot camps and super boot camps. And one time a foreman, well, it's happened more than once, and I love them, but they were like, Jason, you're teaching me these things. I'm not a communicator. That's not my job. I lead work. And I've told you this story before, but it's like, okay, what drywall did you put up the day before? What hammer did you nail? What screws did you screw in? What forms did you set? Well, I don't do work anymore. I'm like, okay, what do you do? Well, I work with my guys. That's how they talk in these examples, right? I just work with my guys. I'm like, okay, but what did you do? Well, we were planning work, we were organizing, I was teaching, so you were, and they finally realized that I've got them communicating. Foremen are professional communicators, 100%. They're communicating the plan, they're visually communicating the safety and the quality requirements, they're communicating to teach and train. They are professional communicators through and through. So being clear, verbally and in handwriting and visually is absolutely key. Number 3, and I cannot overstate this. Plan. If you're not a planning foreman, then you'll be a reacting foreman. I've said before, if this is when the work starts and when the work finishes, most foremen, not you because I love you, we're close, right? Most foremen think that, or no, actually, let's make this even better. Most foremen have been taught, and they probably know better, meaning because they're smart, that their work starts when their work package starts and then it ends once they hit a roadblock. No, 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 no. The work of a foreman starts at the pull plan, reading the drawings and specs, the pre-construction or preparatory meeting, the look-ahead plan, the weekly work plan, the day plan before, always trying to plan and remove roadblocks. Foremen read the drawings, they read the specs, they know the work, they know the shop drawings, they know how to install it, they know the site, they know the schedule, they know when they need their resources. They have a plan, and the plan isn't the most important thing because plans can change. Right? Mike Tyson said everybody has a plan until they get hit in the face. The purpose of a plan is to see the potential problems with the plan and remove those problems before they impact the work that you're doing. Okay, so foremen are planners. Number 4, planning because you know the work, okay? So that means staying current with your trade, whether that's training or technical skills that you would get from trade schools or as a part of an apprenticeship program, or the fact that you've done this before, or you've done a first run study or a mock-up or learned from a mentor. But making sure that the planning and the leading and the communicating you're doing is based on core skills really separates the really great foremen from the ones that are just getting by. Now, if you're just getting by, there's nothing wrong with that because you've probably been put in that situation. But if you're going to do that, ask lots of questions, get the right information, get a mentor, and make sure that you're leveraging the wisdom of the team. The other thing that I want to say, and even if you don't want to, even if you don't like them, success means that you're partnering with the field engineers, other foremen, and the superintendent. Got to have close relationships. I always tell general contractors, whatever, and we don't do it for manipulation, but whatever you give to a trade partner, they'll give you tenfold back. That's the perspective I give them, but really it's true in the reverse too. Whatever you give, if they're a good GC, but if whatever you give to the GC and the field engineers and the supers and the PMs by way of goodwill, they will give back. It's been proven over and over and over. So relationships. I understand that you're triggered. I understand that you might be grumpy that day. I understand that you might, be a little bit frazzled, or that you might be a little rough around the edges. But at the end of the day, you got to have real relationships to make this go, because it's your job to broker the relationship between the GC and your crew and to clear the path, and people help you do it. So if you've liked this so far, please like this video, please subscribe and stay with us. Let me talk about some don'ts, meaning don't not subscribe. Anyway, some don'ts for the foreman. Number 1, don't micromanage, right? You are there to really enable your crew and to help them plan out their day, to teach them, to line them out, but eventually you're working towards conscious competence, meaning to where you can enable them to go do work as a trusted entity, and you don't have to be there supervising them the entire time. So where at the beginning you'll be training, it'll look a lot like micromanaging. As you get towards the end, you're going to get them to where they have a certain level of autonomy. Number 2, never wing it. Here are some things that you should never do. Never be off at Home Depot away. And never not have a plan. Never show up not having read the drawings and specs. Never have the plan in your head, not well communicated, and never wing it. Number 3, don't lose your temper. Now, there are ways that other people can help you with this, but it really doesn't do any good, right? Losing your temper puts you in an emotional state. It means that you are not thinking clearly, you're not using the wisdom of the team, and in your line of work, because you're so important, you could get somebody hurt. Number 4, don't blame others. You are the core. Let's follow Jocko Willink's pattern. We must have extreme ownership. And so you've got to build your team. You've got to simplify and let your people visualize the mission. You've got to prioritize and be ready to execute. And you've got to make sure everybody's set up to go ahead and execute with decentralized command, because the planning was done properly. Now, essentially what you're doing is you and your workers are coming up with a plan, and you're all owning it. Saying things like, oh, your schedule, or you got me in, or the situation, these are non-accountable statements. Now, if the GC is really doing that to you, say, hey, I'm not in this situation, you got me being a victim here, I want to control my circumstances. So don't ever be a victim. The other thing is, don't ever cut corners when it comes to cleanliness, safety, or organization, and don't cut corners with quality. Really, you are the first line of defense. You are finishing work, you are preparing work, you are keeping that crew safe. You are the standard bearer, so you cannot cut corners. You should be beautifully clean, safe, organized, with a great quality product that's always inspected by you. A great foreman will never leave work to be inspected by the inspector or a punch list alone. They will already control that within their own crew themselves. And the last thing that I would say is, don't be arrogant. We have worked with so many different trades, so many different GCs, been in your role, been in the GC role, and let me tell you, the foremen that don't do well are the ones with bad attitudes that are super arrogant. They're the ones that are like, I'm going to take over this whole area. I want the whole building. I'm going to go at my own pace. I don't need to keep a rhythm with anybody else. Screw those guys. They can get their own space, or I'm going to bury them, right? Having an arrogant, negative attitude is not going to work for anybody. So if you really, really want to be a great foreman, plan and make relationships and enable your crew. If you want to fail, which I don't want you to because I care about you, then neglect planning, neglect the basics, don't be accountable, and literally just fight with everybody. But these are some do's and some don'ts. If you really think about it, you can add to this list yourself and really figure out what it means to be great. I'm going to put this in the description below as a nicely formatted list that you can use. Here are some do's and don'ts in your role as a foreman. I hope you've enjoyed it. On we go.